Good morning, everyone. Today, I want to ask you a simple question. If you had one more hour in your life, what would you do with it? Think about that. Because the truth is, time is the one resource that once gone, never comes back. Every day we get 24 hours, the same as the richest, the smartest, and the most successful people in the world. Yet somehow, we feel like time slips away from us, leaving us frustrated, stressed, and unfulfilled. But what if I told you that by making small, conscious choices, you can stop wasting time and start winning? Winning at your career, your relationships, your health, and your inner peace. Today, I want to share 6 powerful ways to do just that. We live in a world filled with endless options, constant notifications, and an overwhelming number of things demanding our attention. Every day, we are bombarded with emails, messages, tasks, and commitments, all screaming for a piece of our time. It is easy to fall into the trap of thinking that being busy is the same as being productive, but that is far from the truth. Real success, fulfillment, and progress come from the conscious choice to focus on what truly matters, rather than being distracted by what merely seems urgent in the moment. To prioritize effectively, we must first develop clarity about our values, our long-term goals, and the outcomes we want to achieve in life. Without this clarity, we risk being driven by external pressures, fleeting trends, or the expectations of others, rather than moving in the direction of our own meaningful purpose. Prioritizing is not simply about managing a to-do list. It is about making deliberate decisions on where to invest your time, attention, and energy. It is about recognizing that every moment is a resource, and just as you would invest your money wisely, you must invest your time with equal care. The difference between those who achieve their dreams and those who drift through life is often not talent, intelligence, or luck, but the ability to focus consistently on the things that matter most. This requires discipline and the courage to say no to tasks, habits, or even relationships that do not align with your vision. Each yes you give to something inconsequential is a silent no to your growth, your goals, and your future. Clarity comes from self-reflection. Ask yourself deeply, what is non-negotiable in my life? What are the goals that, if achieved, would make all the effort worth it? What activities truly add value, and which ones are distractions dressed as productivity? These questions help create a framework for making choices intentionally rather than reactively. Once you identify your priorities, it becomes easier to eliminate or delegate the tasks that do not contribute meaningfully to your purpose. This is not about laziness or avoidance. It is about creating leverage, using your energy and attention on high-impact activities that bring long-term results, instead of being scattered and exhausted from low-value actions. Another crucial aspect of prioritization is recognizing the difference between urgent and important tasks. Urgent tasks often scream for immediate attention, but may not actually contribute to your goals or growth. Important tasks, on the other hand, are those that move you forward, build your skills, or strengthen your relationships. High performers and successful individuals understand this distinction and consistently allocate their best hours and energy toward the important, even when the urgent tries to demand dominance. This requires self-awareness and, at times, the courage to resist societal pressure to be busy at all times. Prioritizing what matters also involves creating boundaries and designing your environment to support your focus. If your workspace, your schedule, or your digital habits constantly pull you in different directions, even the clearest priorities can be derailed. By intentionally structuring your day, blocking dedicated time for high-value tasks, and reducing low-value distractions, you reinforce your commitment to what matters. Prioritization, therefore, is both an internal mindset and an external practice. A combination of clarity, discipline, and action that allows you to use your time with intention and impact. When you truly focus on what matters, life becomes simpler, yet more powerful. Your decisions become aligned with your goals. Your energy is channeled into growth rather than noise, and every action takes you closer to the life you envision. The ability to prioritize is not merely a skill, it is a lifestyle, a conscious choice to live with purpose rather than drift aimlessly. By committing to this approach, you begin to win in areas that truly define success: meaningful achievements, strong relationships, personal growth, and a sense of fulfillment that no amount of busyness can replace. Many of us stand in front of our dreams feeling overwhelmed, intimidated by the enormity of what we want to achieve. The bigger the goal, the more intimidating it seems, and often that intimidation leads to hesitation, procrastination, or even self-doubt. We imagine success as a monumental leap, as though we must accomplish everything perfectly all at once, and when we fail to do so, we feel discouraged. Yet, the truth is that success is rarely a single leap. It is a series of small, deliberate, and consistent steps that over time accumulate into extraordinary results. Breaking big goals into smaller, manageable actions is not just a strategy, it is a mindset that transforms the impossible into the achievable. The human mind responds to progress. When a goal feels too large, it triggers fear, anxiety, and avoidance. But when we break it into smaller steps, each step becomes a measurable achievement, creating momentum and reinforcing our belief in ourselves. Imagine climbing a mountain. You do not focus on the summit alone, you focus on each step, each foothold, and each stretch of terrain. With each small, intentional movement, the summit comes closer into view. Similarly, in life, the journey toward any significant goal becomes more tangible and less intimidating when divided into actionable steps. Small steps also allow for learning and adaptation. When we attempt to tackle a goal all at once, we risk encountering obstacles that feel insurmountable because we are unprepared. By starting with smaller actions, we gain valuable feedback along the way. We learn what works, what does not, and how to adjust our strategy. This iterative process not only increases our efficiency, but also builds resilience. Each small success strengthens our confidence, reduces fear, and makes the next step easier. Success is cumulative, and each micro-action compounds into long-term growth. Consistency is the power behind breaking goals into smaller steps. Many people underestimate the impact of consistent, deliberate effort. One small action may seem insignificant today, but repeated day after day, it leads to results that surpass sporadic bursts of energy or last-minute efforts. Consider the act of writing a book. Writing a single page each day seems modest, but in a few months, a full manuscript emerges. Similarly, learning a new skill, improving health, or building a business follows the same principle. The focus is not on doing everything at once, but on doing something meaningful every day, consistently, until the cumulative effect becomes undeniable. Breaking big goals into small steps also nurtures discipline and patience, which are essential qualities for long-term success. When we divide a daunting goal into achievable milestones, we create a roadmap, a sense of direction, and clear markers of progress. Each milestone offers an opportunity to celebrate achievement, reinforcing motivation and making the journey less overwhelming. This approach also reduces the risk of burnout because we are not attempting to sprint through a marathon. Instead, we pace ourselves, balancing effort with sustainability. It is important to remember that small steps do not mean small ambitions. Even the grandest dreams are realized one actionable decision at a time. Each deliberate choice, each focused effort, and each incremental improvement is a building block that constructs the future we desire. By focusing on what we can do today, rather than being paralyzed by the enormity of tomorrow, we create momentum that propels us forward. Big dreams are no longer distant or intimidating. They become achievable, actionable, and inevitable through consistent, purposeful effort. Breaking big goals into small steps transforms our relationship with ambition. It shifts our mindset from fear to confidence, from overwhelm to clarity, and from procrastination to action. It reminds us that greatness is not born from a single leap, but from the patient accumulation of focused effort, each step bringing us closer to the life we envision. The journey becomes not only possible, but rewarding, as each small victory reinforces our belief in our ability to achieve what once felt impossible. Many people measure productivity in hours, assuming that working longer will automatically yield greater results. Yet the reality is far more nuanced. Time is finite, yes, but energy is the true currency of achievement. You can spend 8 hours at a desk, but if your mind is distracted, your body fatigued, and your focus scattered, those hours may produce little of value. On the other hand, 2 hours of concentrated, high-energy effort can surpass 8 hours of unfocused activity. Understanding and managing your energy, physical, mental, and emotional, is therefore the key to transforming your productivity and the quality of your results. Managing energy begins with self-awareness. Every individual has natural rhythms, peak moments of alertness, and periods of fatigue. Some people are most focused in the early morning, others find clarity late at night. Observing your own patterns allows you to schedule demanding, high-priority tasks when your energy is at its peak, and less critical tasks when your energy dips. Ignoring this rhythm is like trying to run a car on empty fuel. It may move, but it will not perform optimally. By aligning your tasks with your energy, you maximize output while minimizing wasted effort. Physical energy forms the foundation for sustained focus and performance. Sleep, nutrition, and exercise are not optional, they are investments. Lack of sleep diminishes cognitive function, weakens decision-making, and increases susceptibility to stress. Proper nutrition fuels the body, stabilizes mood, and maintains stamina throughout the day. Regular physical activity, even in small doses, boosts circulation, improves mental clarity, and releases endorphins that enhance mood and resilience. High achievers recognize that investing in their physical well-being directly translates into the ability to perform at their best. Mental energy is equally important. The mind can only focus deeply for limited periods before diminishing returns set in. Multitasking, constant notifications, and mental clutter drain mental energy quickly. To preserve it, it is essential to prioritize tasks, minimize distractions, and dedicate uninterrupted blocks of time to focused work. Techniques such as the Pomodoro method, deep work sessions, or intentional planning can create an environment in which the mind operates at its highest level. By protecting your mental energy, you amplify creativity, clarity, and problem-solving capacity. Emotional energy is often overlooked, but is a critical determinant of performance. Stress, unresolved conflict, and negative emotions deplete energy faster than any physical task. Cultivating emotional resilience through mindfulness, reflection, gratitude, or connecting with supportive people replenishes this vital resource. High performers recognize that maintaining emotional balance allows them to navigate challenges effectively, respond thoughtfully rather than react impulsively, and sustain motivation even in difficult circumstances. Managing energy also requires strategic breaks and recovery. Continuous effort without rest leads to diminishing returns and eventual burnout. Short breaks, moments of reflection, or periods of disengagement are not wasted time. They are essential for restoration. Recovery allows the mind and body to recharge, ensuring that the energy applied to tasks is of the highest quality. It transforms work from a draining obligation into a sustainable, productive endeavor. Ultimately, focusing on energy rather than solely on time shifts the approach to productivity. It transforms the way we plan our day, prioritize tasks, and engage with challenges. Energy management emphasizes quality over quantity, results over busyness, and sustainability over short-term exertion. By recognizing the interconnection between physical, mental, and emotional energy and intentionally cultivating and aligning it with priorities, you not only achieve more in less time, but also maintain balance, clarity, and fulfillment along the journey. In today's hyper-connected world, distractions are the silent thieves of our time, energy, and potential. Every day, we are pulled in countless directions by notifications, messages, emails, meetings, and the constant lure of social media. Each ping and pop-up feels urgent, but in reality, most of these interruptions are not aligned with our goals or values. They fragment our attention, slow our progress, and prevent us from reaching the state of deep focus where real work and creativity occur. To achieve meaningful success, it is not enough to work harder or longer. We must ruthlessly identify, control, and eliminate distractions that steal our most valuable resource, our attention. Distraction begins subtly. It often masquerades as busyness, as though being occupied with numerous tasks or responding instantly to every alert is a sign of productivity. Yet this illusion is dangerous because it keeps us busy without moving us closer to our objectives. The first step to eliminating distractions is awareness. Recognizing the difference between what is urgent and what is truly important is critical. Urgent tasks scream for attention but may not contribute to long-term growth, while important tasks build progress and purpose. By becoming conscious of where our attention goes, we can distinguish between interruptions that demand energy but deliver little value, and those that genuinely deserve our focus. Our environments play a crucial role in shaping our attention. A cluttered workspace, a noisy room, or even digital chaos on our devices can fragment focus and reduce efficiency. Creating an environment conducive to concentration involves intentionally designing spaces and routines that minimize unnecessary interruptions. This might include organizing your physical workspace, turning off notifications, scheduling dedicated focus periods, and using tools that block distracting websites or apps. Small changes in environment and habit can produce dramatic improvements in focus and productivity. Technology, while a powerful tool, is also one of the biggest sources of distraction. Social media, instant messaging, and endless notifications constantly compete for attention. The key is not to reject technology entirely, but to use it intentionally. Setting boundaries, such as checking emails only at specific times, silencing non-essential notifications, and creating phone-free periods allows for uninterrupted focus. Mastery over technology means that it serves your goals rather than controls your attention. Distraction is not always external. Often, it originates internally. Wandering thoughts, worry, overthinking, or procrastination can pull the mind away from the task at hand. Developing mindfulness and mental discipline is essential for managing these internal interruptions. Techniques such as meditation, journaling, or even simple breath awareness help anchor attention in the present moment. By training the mind to return to focus whenever it drifts, you create resilience against the pull of internal distractions. Another critical aspect is learning to say no, something that directly relates to managing distractions. Every commitment, meeting, or favor we take on diverts attention from our highest priorities. Ruthlessly evaluating which obligations truly serve your goals and politely declining the rest protects both your time and energy. Saying no is not rejection of others. It is a commitment to your purpose and a statement that your focus is valuable. Eliminating distractions also enhances creativity and deep thinking. When attention is divided, the mind cannot reach the state of flow where ideas emerge naturally and solutions appear effortlessly. Focus periods allow for clarity, innovation, and meaningful progress. Over time, eliminating distractions becomes a habit, and attention, once treated carelessly, transforms into a powerful tool for achieving extraordinary results. By approaching distraction with awareness, discipline, and intentionality, you reclaim control over your most valuable asset, your attention. When external and internal interruptions are minimized, every moment spent working, learning, or creating becomes more impactful. Deep focus is no longer a rare luxury. It becomes the foundation upon which excellence, growth, and success are built. Saying yes has always been praised as a virtue. We are encouraged to be helpful, agreeable, and accommodating. Yet, in our desire to please others, to avoid conflict, or to appear capable, we often forget that every yes comes with a cost. Every commitment we accept consumes time, energy, and attention, resources that are limited and cannot be regained once spent. The ability to say no is not about being selfish. It is about being strategic, intentional, and aligned with what truly matters. Learning to say no is one of the most powerful tools for achieving meaningful success and living a purpose-driven life. The challenge of saying no begins with understanding its value. Most people view it as a rejection, a denial, or even an act of rudeness. In reality, saying no is a declaration of priorities. It signals that your time is precious and that your focus must remain on high-value activities. When you say no to low-impact tasks, unnecessary obligations, or distractions, you free yourself to say yes to opportunities, relationships, and pursuits that genuinely contribute to growth and fulfillment. It is the courage to protect your attention and energy, ensuring they are devoted to the things that truly matter. Saying no requires clarity. Without knowing what your priorities are, you cannot distinguish between requests that deserve a yes and those that do not. Take the time to reflect on your goals, values, and long-term vision. When a new request arises, ask yourself, does this align with my purpose? Does this move me closer to my goals? If the answer is no, then it is not only acceptable, but essential to decline. Saying yes indiscriminately is a subtle form of surrender, a gradual erosion of time and energy that leaves little room for meaningful accomplishments. It also requires confidence. Saying no can be uncomfortable, especially when it involves colleagues, friends, or family. Many of us fear rejection, conflict, or disappointment. Yet the truth is that those who respect your boundaries will understand, and those who do not were never aligned with your growth in the first place. Confidence comes from recognizing that your time and focus are your responsibility. You are not obligated to meet every demand or to sacrifice your goals for the convenience of others. In fact, by setting boundaries, you teach others to respect your priorities, which ultimately strengthens relationships and enhances collaboration. Learning to say no also demands foresight. Each yes you give is an investment, and like any investment, it must yield value. When you commit to something, consider the impact on your energy, schedule, and focus. Overcommitting leads to fatigue, mistakes, and diminished effectiveness. By carefully evaluating the cost and benefit of each yes, you ensure that your commitments are intentional and aligned with long-term objectives. This mindset transforms decision-making from reactive compliance into strategic action. Importantly, saying no is not a single act, it is a practice. It requires repetition, self-reflection, and the courage to uphold boundaries consistently. Over time, it becomes a natural part of how you manage your life. The ability to decline distractions, low-priority requests, and unnecessary obligations becomes a defining factor in achieving focus, progress, and fulfillment. It allows you to channel your time and energy into high-impact activities, creating momentum toward your goals without the constant pull of competing demands. Mastering the art of saying no shifts the balance of your life from reactive to intentional. It ensures that your yeses carry weight, that your time is preserved for meaningful endeavors, and that your energy is dedicated to pursuits that truly matter. It is a powerful reminder that your life is a series of choices, and the quality of those choices determines the quality of your results. Saying no is not about rejection, it is about commitment to your purpose, your growth, and the life you envision for yourself. Reflection is the bridge between experience and growth. Many people move through their days on autopilot, completing tasks and fulfilling obligations without ever pausing to consider meaning or impact of their actions. This approach may produce activity, but it rarely produces progress. To truly win in life, it is essential to cultivate the habit of daily reflection, combined with intentional planning. Reflection allows you to understand what worked, what did not, and why, while intentional planning ensures that the lessons learned translate into meaningful action. Together, they transform routine activity into purposeful progress. Daily reflection begins with observation. At the end of each day, take a moment to pause and review your actions, decisions, and interactions. Ask yourself, what did I accomplish today that aligned with my goals? Where did I allow distractions to steal my focus? Which moments of my day added value and which consumed time without meaningful return? This honest self-assessment creates awareness, helping you identify patterns, strengths, and areas for improvement. By observing your behavior without judgment, you develop the clarity necessary to make informed choices about how to use your time and energy moving forward. Reflection also nurtures gratitude. In a fast-paced world, it is easy to overlook achievements, no matter how small. Acknowledging the wins of the day, celebrating progress, and recognizing your efforts, even in the face of setbacks, strengthens motivation and builds confidence. Gratitude is not merely a positive emotion, it is a powerful force that enhances resilience, reduces stress, and reinforces the behaviors that lead to success. By reflecting on both accomplishments and challenges, you maintain balance, perspective, and a sense of purpose that keeps you grounded and focused. Intentional planning is the natural extension of reflection. Reflection alone without action is incomplete. Once you have assessed your day, the next step is to plan with clarity and precision. Identify the tasks, priorities, and commitments that will have the greatest impact tomorrow. Allocate your time and energy deliberately, focusing on high-value activities that align with your long-term goals. Planning intentionally creates structure in an otherwise chaotic environment, allowing you to approach each day with focus and purpose, rather than reacting to circumstances or distractions. Effective planning requires prioritization and adaptability. Not every task or request deserves your attention, and some days will bring unexpected challenges. By planning intentionally, you create a roadmap that guides your decisions while leaving room for flexibility. Prioritization ensures that your highest impact activities are addressed first, preventing the accumulation of minor tasks from derailing progress. Adaptability allows you to respond to changes without losing sight of your overall objectives. The combination of structured planning and flexibility is what separates consistent achievers from those who are constantly overwhelmed by circumstance. Daily reflection and planning also cultivate accountability. When you take the time to assess your performance, you hold yourself responsible for your actions, choices, and results. This accountability fosters discipline and focus as you become acutely aware of how each day contributes or fails to contribute to your goals. Over time, this habit builds momentum, creating a cycle in which reflection informs action, action produces results, and results guide further reflection. It is a continuous process of refinement that propels you toward higher levels of performance and fulfillment. Ultimately, the practice of reflecting daily and planning intentionally transforms the way you experience time. Each day becomes an opportunity to learn, adjust, and advance. Your actions become deliberate, your decisions more strategic, and your focus sharper. By embedding reflection and planning into your daily routine, you convert ordinary days into stepping stones toward extraordinary achievements. You no longer drift through life passively. You navigate with purpose, guided by awareness, intention, and the unwavering commitment to make every moment count. In closing, I want you to hold on to this thought. Your time is your most precious currency. Spend it wisely, invest it in what matters, and watch your life transform. The journey to winning starts with one conscious step today. Don't wait for tomorrow, because the best time to start is now. Thank you.